Well, first of all, thank you very much. I want to join my dear colleague, my dear friend, Prime Minister Pashinyan, in thanking President Macron and organizer of this forum for inviting us and for organizing this forum, because nowadays, as Prime Minister mentioned, the world is full of conflicts, unresolved crises, and who suffer from this crisis? People suffer from this crisis, our population, our citizens. We live in an era of uncertainty, unpredictability, and we see, for example, the war in Ukraine, which is ongoing and which is we don't see an end, we don't see a solution yet. We see a crisis in the Middle East, which is very dangerous. We see frozen conflicts in Georgia, for example. We see the occupation of our territories, and therefore there's no solution. We see lots of conflicts in Africa or any part of the world. So therefore the solution and the answer to all these crises, to all these conflicts, must be peace. We must do everything, the governments must do everything to achieve the peace. So I want to take this opportunity and talk to you about the success story of Georgia and what we achieved in the last decade. So when we came to power in 2012, the status quo of Georgia was that 20% of our territory was occupied and is still occupied by Russia. It's one of the biggest challenges for our reality. Unfortunately, the first war, which happened between Russia and Georgia in the 20th century, was in 2008. It started in Georgia, basically. In the 90s, we had civil war. We had the wars in Abkhazia and Ossetia, in the occupied territories, which was supported by the Russian Federation at that time in the early 90s. So the country of Georgia has seen so many problems, so many challenges. After the war in 2008, we saw another big war, which just started 2 years ago, or in Ukraine a year ago, and I think this is a great challenge for all of us, because whether we like it or not, whether we try to avoid further escalations or complicated scenarios, it affects all of us. The wars affect all of us. Of course, the situation in our region, in the neighboring countries, in Armenia, in Azerbaijan, of course, is a matter of concern for all of us. Of course, for Georgia. Georgia is I have said it many times, and I want to repeat, is a very objective, unbiased, I would say so, mediator, facilitator, just a friend who trusts both countries, and we have excellent relationship with Armenia. We have excellent relationship with Azerbaijan, and I personally have a very trusted relationship with both leaders. So therefore, Georgia's interest is to secure long-term, long-lasting peace and stability in our region. Georgia, we and my government, we managed to achieve an uninterrupted and unprecedented peace and stability in our country. Under every leadership in Georgia, we had wars, we had conflicts, we had civil war, we're losing territories. This is the only period Georgia did not have any war. We were not losing territories, and we're growing. We're making our country stronger, and we're getting richer. And this is this is something that brings prosperity for our population, for our people. Of course, the challenge which is related to the occupation is still there. It hasn't disappeared. But we chose a strategic patience policy. And why I'm saying this? Because there are things we cannot solve immediately, right? So therefore, you need patience, you need a long-term strategy, an action plan, and you have to follow this. And you got to be consistent in achieving this plan. Georgia, in the last 10 years, made, I would say, very attractive, impressive reforms and achievements. I was privileged to sign the association agreement with the European Union in 2014. We signed free trade agreement with Europe. We got the visa-free regime with the European Union. Last year it was historic because we got the European perspective. And just two days ago, this was another historic decision made by the European Commission, which gave the recommendation to the Council to grant candidate status to Georgia. This is historic achievement. Why? Because Georgia, Georgian people, and my government, our ruling party, have made very concrete decision. This decision is irreversible, and this decision is that we want to get closer to Europe. We want to become a full-fledged member of the European Union, and we're moving in this direction consistently. Step by step, we are getting closer to this national, let's say, plan. At the same time, we managed to increase our economy. Our economy has tripled since 2012, according to national currency. And also GDP per capita in US dollars was doubled in the last 3 years. The inflation is very low. Together with Armenia, we are the fastest growing economies in the world right now. And it's not very coincident. We are creating good policies and effective governance, and because of that, we are ensuring strong economic growth for our population, for our people, and it brings more jobs, more stability, more, let's say, predictability for our businesses, for investors. FDI, for example, was a record number last year. So the poverty or unemployment are at historic lows, and countries' national reserves are at historic highs. So all I'm saying this is because nothing would happen if there was no peace in Georgia. Peace is crucial. Peace is something that we need to achieve. The world right now needs less warmongers. We need more peacemakers. Because right now what we see is that we are very concerned how this war in Ukraine will end. We're very concerned how the situation will evolve in the Middle East or elsewhere. So therefore, countries like Georgia, Armenia, we're small countries, small nations, but we are, of course, we are very strong nations. We're one of the oldest nations on earth. And of course, we are definitely interested in maintaining peace, stability, and ensuring prosperity for our citizens. So my point is that people and nations across the world, they need clarity. They need certainty. Right now, we don't see any certainty. We don't see any predictability. Nobody knows what will be the future tomorrow. So, of course, who is capable of solving this kind of problems? Big countries, like big superpowers, and countries like, again, I want to repeat, Georgia, Armenia, or Azerbaijan, small countries. They need to have a clear vision, right, from the Western big powers. So, therefore, I want to once again reiterate and confirm that Georgia is interested in maintaining peace and stability, and we are absolutely confident that we will be able to achieve deoccupation of our territories step by step through our prudent, but I would say very careful but wise policies. This is the only choice that Georgia right now has. And I want to underline one more thing. In the last 10 years, more than 10 years, we have not done anything at the expense of our sovereignty or territorial integrity or our national interests. So we're doing everything for our people. We're doing everything what's best for our people, what's best for our future. So once again, thanks for giving me this opportunity to speak about ourselves. Once again, I want to thank the organizers, you, Mr. Duclos. And the last note, 2 years ago, we successfully mediated, I would say this was one of the first mediation precedent that we created together with Prime Minister Pashinyan and President Aliyev, when Azerbaijan released 15 detainees through Georgian mediation, and Armenia gave the maps for the mine territories. So, therefore, Georgia is capable of achieving these results, and I think trust here is crucial, because when somebody is offering mediation, this mediator should be trusted from both parties. If there's no trust, there will be no successful mediation. And one more thing, I said it in Davos this February or this January, that maybe parties don't trust each other, but there should be cooperation. Without cooperation, without negotiations, without peaceful dialogue, there will be no peace. Thank you.